All right, shalom, most high in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath to everybody tuning in across the globe. All praises to the most high in Christ. We made it to another Sabbath. All right, all praises to the most high. You brothers and sisters out there, make sure that you have a King James, a 1611 King James Bible. All right, make sure you have that, because once again, you are still living in biblical times. And it is very critical that you understand how to conduct yourself in this world that we're living in right now. There's a lot of pitfalls happening to our people. Since the George Floyd incident, you have consistently been fed a steady dose of seeing our people killed in the streets, seeing us kill each other, seeing us doing a whole lot of mischief outside of the codes and conduct of this book. It's really upsetting when you start to really analyze it. And we've been analyzing this for many, many years. And it's very upsetting because this book, this Bible, is written, of course, for you so-called blacks and you so-called Hispanic natives, all right, who are Negroid and Indian descent. The children of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We're going to show you some things tonight, all right? We got some clips for you, brothers and sisters, to be able to really look at this and go, why are we in this situation? And what is the key? What is the goal for us in this captivity right now? Is it for us to be religious? Is it for us to go to church and clap our hands? Is it for us to be militant? No. We have a simple solution to the problem. Learn conduct. And the righteous conduct that you need to learn is thus saith the Lord God, written in this book. All right? Righteous conduct. Christ, who had the understanding of all things, when he walked upon the face of the earth in the midst of the children of Israel, the most disobedient people on the face of the earth, he was shining a light on conduct. How do you deal with situations? But our people, we are steady caught up in many different vices. Lord's will, y'all stay tuned. We're putting together a documentary called Chasing Money. Chasing Money. Because what you don't understand is a lot of our situations that we get into is all behind a dollar, all behind power, all behind an illusion to look like you are actually have some type of pride of life. All right, it's a problem. We have clips for y'all tonight, but make sure you taking notes, okay? And if someone is tagging you on this video, that person who tagged you loves you to death. They're trying to get you to see something, so give it a few minutes. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms chapter 144. The book of Psalms chapter 144, and we're going to read starting at verse 7.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. The book of Psalms, chapter 144 and verse 11. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity.
Whoa, read it again for him.
The book of Psalms, chapter 144 and verse 11. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children.
From the hand of strange children. Put it in the comment boards. You brothers and sisters out there, it's the Bible saying, rid me from the hand of strange children. Send thine hand from above, rid me and deliver me, okay, out of great waters, from the hand of strange children. In the comment boards, who are the strange children being referred to? Put it down in the comment boards. You folks that have went to church, you folks that read the Bible, you folks that may be Baptist, Pentecostal, Jehovah's Witness, whatever denomination, and you claim that you love God and you read the Bible, it's saying out of the hand of strange children. Who would y'all say that these strange children are? Other nations, okay. Other nations. Strange children, the other nations. Okay. I'm hoping that the Holy Rollers is on so they can look at this and say who would be strange, because you can't say your brethren is strange children, because that would be of your same nation. So this actually shows us some dynamics. It says out of great waters. When we go to the book of Revelation and you look at those waters, it shows you many people. It's talking about many people, all right? Because y'all are going to realize something. As you grow and if you start to examine through the Spirit, why is it that for us, the secrets of money and the secrets that the other nations hold over our heads and will not tell us, they won't tell us about these secrets. It's like you got to scramble and find out certain things which should automatically be known. Right. Why is that? Because you have to realize if you have an upper society or upper class, you must have a lower class. That's why the Lord say you're going to have the poor always with you. But for us, the children of light, the children that's supposed to be coming out of darkness, coming out of the shadows, we should have an understanding of how to build. But do we have an understanding on how to build? No, we do not. It's only evident. If one of us finds out a secret, we hold it and we ain't telling nobody. We not giving this up. Right. Come on now. If you got to think about building a nation, not just yourself, because you're only as strong as the nation of people. We're witnessing it. All right. That's why you see all the protests, bloody hands, stolen land, black power, Black Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter, whatever you want to put it. It's childlike, and it's really not a solution. The solution to our situation is for us to come together underneath righteous conduct and then start to love each other like the Bible says what love is, meaning apply the commandments. All right? We're not doing that. So in retrospect, when you look, all you see is violence. We're going to read it. This was happening in ancient times. So when you read in this book is a history book. So you can look at our ancestors in this book and you can see, nah, that's not righteous conduct, and look what it led to. Okay? You have to understand these principles, and we have to teach it. Now, what we are planning is moving these words off the page. We was talking today about it. Planning seminars, planning events to gather groups of our people, and we're going to show you the secrets that the Most High had showed us, allowed us to see even in this system. So you can't, listen, you know how I say, the white man's money or whatever the case may be? You crazy now because you got Bitcoins, all kind of stuff. Brothers and sisters keep posting up about Dogecoin, you know. All of these different mechanisms is now available. You have Israelites right now that's dynamic in the stock markets. Why? Why is this? We're looking at how to live right now. Because when it comes down to the kingdom, who gonna be talking about let me buy a stock for, let me do some option trading. Let me go to the New York Stock Exchange. Read on.
Whose mouth speaketh vanity.
Come on.
And their right hand is a right hand of falsehood.
Right hand of falsehood. So if somebody's sticking out their right hand, it seems like they're friendly, but it's the right hand of falsehood. Keep the boot on their necks. Well, the best way to keep the boot on a nation's neck so they never rise up in the midst of all this technology that's going on is to keep us in an infantile mind, constantly complaining about our lives matter. Our lives matter. Excuse me? Or you see the scenarios over and over again. If you are somewhat conscious, if you have a brain, you keep seeing the police roll up on us, and you see that the person on the other end loses their mind, and they draw the gun on them, and you see the ramifications all the time. Why then would you try to show out? Why would you do that? So it show you the Most High is literally showcasing things. He's the author of life and death. There was other shootings. Some of the people didn't die. Yeah, and when the police shoot, they ain't squeezing one shot. So you got to ask yourself the question, the Most High is in control of all things. So this is being showcased to us, to the people who can hear God's voice, can understand this book. We are in a system where if we do not return back to righteous conduct, we are getting punished for it. And we're being punished by the nations, and these nations care little to none for you. When I say nations, stop going on individuals. You might have a person who's an Arab man that's nice to you. You might have a so-called white person that have some type of, in their mind, like, I'm not doing this to them. Stop thinking on an infantile level. Understand nation building. Nation building is different from being an individual. Individually, we could be good. We work in the stock markets. Money is coming in. You could be individually great, but you're still weak because your nation is weak. So I saw something on the internet with Ivanka Trump talking down on Vivica Fox. Matter of fact, she just made a statement, like, because they can speak intelligently. She made a comment to him like, wow, they're sophisticated. But that goes to show you, she comes from high society money where favoritism and everything is happening, and she looks upon us as, oh, they come from nothing. Wow, I'm shocked that they have etiquette. This is why it's so important for you black women and Hispanic women to elevate and not to be as savages. And really, what y'all should be doing is any woman that's out there shaking her behind, talking crazy, being reckless, you should cut them off. Don't even deal with them. Just cut them completely off. You're an embarrassment to the nation. It's the same for the brothers. If you see a brother out there and he's just in savage man mode, leave that brother alone, man. He's going down another dark pathway, especially men of the faith. If we know, you tell somebody something, the Lord told us, dust your feet. It's going to be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than for our people who are rejecting his truth, man. All right? So you have to really start to understand that. Let's continue to read, right?
Verse 12, that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth.
So we need to be delivered from them so our sons could be as plants grown up in the youth. They can grow. But what you're seeing is our sons getting gunned down. The fathers, the mothers. At this point, it ain't even no secret. Even your women who thought that it was just the men getting killed, the Most High turned it up to show us, nope, they have zero compassion even for a woman. They took a 72-year-old woman and DDT'd her on the ground, man. They got a lawsuit for that now. But that goes to show you everybody think money can solve things. So as soon as somebody get killed, here come Crumb. Here come the lawyers, the Grim Reaper. He'll never wear a light color suit. He's just in a dark suit. Right. And we want money over a person's life. This should show y'all something. So we can dictate what is great conduct, what is high society. We can dictate that for ourselves. We can even choose to say we'll stop using the American dollar and we'll start using cryptocurrency. We can decide that. This is a new day and a new era. See, the way we talking is dangerous. We really talking about taking a nation of people and making them self-reliant. Self-reliant. We ain't escaping this captivity until the Lord comes. but you can be freed in the shackles of your mind. And this is the problem that I have with a lot of brothers and sisters who's supposed to know this truth. If you know the truth, you're supposed to operate in a whole different light, just a whole different mentality, because you understand the plight and you understand where our people are at. Read on.
That our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace.
So, are our daughters polished like that right now? You got to ask yourself these questions. Are our sons able to grow? Come on.
Verse 13, that our garners may be full of affording all manner of store.
Come on.
That our sheep may bring forth thousands and 10,000s in our streets. That our oxen may be strong to labor. That there be no breaking in, nor going out. That there be no complaining in our streets.
That there be no complaining in our streets. So this shows you, if we're constantly relying on the strange children, they can't take care of us. We have to be self-efficient and self-reliant. The way that we do that is first by understanding righteous conduct. The end. You cannot do it without righteous conduct. You have to understand that. So I'm gonna show you. But I made the comment about this video, so let's go to it real quick. Give me there's some crazy stuff tonight that we want to show y'all, but yeah, the sun. Now this happened. This is hot off the heels from last year, but see what happens is, all of these things go to court and they dismiss it as, oh, they had to do this. This was necessary. Tell me if this is justified. Let's play it. Some of y'all might have seen it. Come on. Right.
Step out of the car, walk out, walk out, walk out towards me. Come, keep coming, stop right there, I want you to lift up your shirt from your shoulders, turn around, slowly turn around in a circle. Slowly turn around in a circle. Keep going. Stop. Walk towards me. Michael Ramos, you're going to get impacted if you don't listen. Walk towards me. Hey, move to the center. Michael Ramos. Hey, listen to me, man. Hey, relax, Michael. I need you to turn around for me. Michael, listen to me, man. Michael, listen to me, man. Just listen. I want you to turn around for me, man. Turn around for me, Michael. I don't have an angle. Turn around for me. I'll explain it in a second. I can't explain it right now, Michael, but you need to turn around.
Leave your hands up!
Michael. Yeah.
Man, what the you do, man? Whipping on, dog! Man, what the y'all tripping on?
Pause. At some point, folks, you folks that are watching this, I had to pause this, I'm sorry. This behavior right here, this conduct, knowing that you have people with guns drawn on you, knowing the history of what has happened, is not acceptable. Now, I will say this. We suffer in this nation from a lot of mental illnesses. So we don't understand the mind state of some of our people. They're dealing with high-level spirits. So the police is not having compassion on that. So if we are a family member and we know he has some type of mental instabilities, we need to watch him at all times. Whoever in your family, if they have this, watch them at all times. All right? What we're lobbying for is, this has been since last year, I'm lobbying and dealing with some things for some type of identity, maybe a card, or maybe something that is attached to a person's to say, hey, listen, this person suffers from some type of illness. Let's show some more compassion. But even with that, because it's been out, even with that, it's difficult because they still tell you the discretion is on the cops, because if they feel like their life is threatened, they can go ahead on and use lethal force. Watch this, y'all. Come on.
Oh, y'all not going, dog. Man, what the fuck, man? I don't got no gun, dog. What the fuck? Man, hang on with your fucking gun like that. Keep your hands up, passenger. Hey, for what? No, put the gun down, dog. Man, what the fuck, dog? Hey, do not move! Turn off the car! Turn off the car, Michael! Don't do it! Get out of the car! Michael, get out! Hey, do not leave! Stay on the ground! Do not leave! We're trying to take on some Do not move! Stay alive! I don't got no gun, dog! What the f***? What's that? Man, hell no with the guns like that! I'm gonna impact you! Impact me for what? One course that's supplied with put the gun down, dog! Man, what the f***, dog? Impact it! Hey! Get out of the car! Hey, get ready, move up! Michael! Hey, get ready! Hey, moving up.
Officer Piper fired one less lethal round at Mr. Ramos, striking him in the upper thigh hip area. Officer Taylor fired 3 rounds from his rifle as Mr. Ramos drove forward. Officers on the scene immediately requested emergency medical services and performed life-saving measures. EMS transported Mr. Ramos.
Get him out of here. He didn't make it, y'all. He did not make it. So, if you start to examine, all right, yeah, he didn't make it. He didn't make it. If you start to examine the scenarios and the situations, matter of fact, give me Psalms 55. Give me Psalms 55. So, and what kills us, we can read the Bible all day. We've been doing that. In the same scenarios, the Lord is showing us over and over again. There is a mechanism that we're missing as a unit of people. We're just missing it. These folks cannot agree. These folks can argue on politics and everything else, but yet they have the gall and the audacity to set up laws, to set up task force, to set things up, and it's accepted. It's just accepted. And it's accepted by primarily our people. Where's ours? Give me Psalms 51 and 55, verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 1. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not thyself from my supplication.
So the question that I want to ask is, because you got to think about it. Every time something happens like this, are we praying? Aren't people on TV setting candles? They're praying and everything. The people come out, they can do a march. All this stuff happens. Where is your supplication? Because you can send up prayers all day, But where is it now, the application that comes after that? When you send up the prayer, what is next? Is it just now to rely on the system and say, okay, somebody got to change something? Or is it for us to come together as a people and go, okay, this is going to be our new status quo. This is going to be this is what we are going to do as a nation of people. You can't just, we're a nation that exists within another nation. We're housed within another people, within another nation. So everything that we're looking at is not dictated by us. Not even the music industry is dictated by us. The movie, anything you do, you open up your business, it's always being dictated to. You don't understand yet? Read on.
Verse 2. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise.
And make a noise. Come on.
Because of the voice of the enemy.
Because of the voice of the enemy. So our people never realize what is the enemy? Because can we say that we're enemies to each other? Sure you can. Because we're out there as beastmen killing each other. But then you got the other nations that's like, go ahead on and kill it. Stay at the bottom. I need somebody to scrub off my boots. Read on.
Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked.
Come on.
For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me.
So they cast iniquity upon me. Iniquity is sin. How is it? So we're looking at a people that is oppressed. That's us. How is it that iniquity is cast upon us? Listen, we live here. We should know. Everything that our people are doing, they did what is it, Andrew Brown? Was it Andrew Brown Jr.? Was that his name? It's so many people that's hurting. And listen, make no mistake about it. We get some of the calls. Like, we have gotten calls saying from sisters that was like, my son, he's of older age, but the police took him out. What could you do? It's like, okay, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. Pray. Like, this keeps happening. Like, we need to form this coalition to really start to understand how our conduct should be. It's real simple and easy because we have enemies. They're not going to tell you how your conduct should be. They love you sagging your pants. They love you trying to paper chase. They love you being in a rat race, not knowing how to get money. See, you chasing the dollars and chasing money, but they're never telling you how what the other side of it is that's making money. So easy once you see it and you learn it. But keep that from them. Don't teach this to them in school. When you teach economics, teach them how to budget their money from their job. Don't teach them how to make money, real money. Because if you do, you change the status quo. So now what's happening is the Most High has opened up some things within the society. They're starting to give money out. People getting stimulus checks. Mm-hmm. They trying to give families money to people who done had kids now. They taking and giving money out and all kind of stuff. There's money being handed out. Make no mistake about it. That's not man showing that type of compassion. Don't make no mistake about it, because this man will house his money in and let everybody else do whatever he do. The Most High has now opened up a pathway so that you will not have an excuse. You won't have an excuse. All right? So this is what's happening. We have to be smart. The dragon, once he wakes up, after that money goes out, he putting trillions of dollars out. Right. When this man wakes up, it's going to be hell to pay. If you ain't situated, if you ain't understanding how the rules of this work, you're going to be in trouble. All right? Mark that. Mark that. We said it 2 years ago. People didn't listen. It happened. Mark that. All right? Read on.
Verse 4. My heart is sore pain within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me.
Come on. This now, let me say this too, y'all. If you look at our history, even when Christ walked, and you can go back to Moses, Noah. If you look at the history of the sons of God, we are always going to be compassed with that darkness because we're supposed to be the beacon of light. But we can't have the spirit of fear upon us. We have to have that spirit of power, that spirit of love to understand this is the way. All right. But our people who are trapped, this is giving us a great understanding of how scared our people are as well. Watch this. Come on.
Verse 6. And I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest.
And be at rest. Come on.
Verse 7. Lo, then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness. Selah.
And remain in the wilderness. Selah. So for you folks that don't understand the Bible a bit, the Bible is also a prophetic book that showcase a lot of things for Israel, especially being in the future, in a future tense. We are trapped, all right, in a system right now that lends itself to iniquity. What do I mean by that? If you're the most raunchiest woman on the face of the earth, you could possibly make money. If you're willing to compromise yourself on any level, you can make money. And then they take that money and they push that upon you, and all the wickedness, at the end result, you end up on the floor dead. And you see it with every one of our artists. How come that's a status quo? I don't care if you go from Rick James to Prince to DMX. You can go back and forth with people, but you see that there's if you're smart, if your spiritual antennas is up, you start to understand some things. Wait a minute, this spirit of Satan is out here. We need to learn something from each other and watch out for each other. But every time you try to watch out for one another, you're being told by the status quo, you don't have to do that. Live your own life. Do you. That's their words. But we laugh to stop from crying because it's true. All right. Read on.
Verse 8. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues. For I have seen violence and strife in the city.
I've seen violence and strife in the city, but I want verse 8. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. All right. The windy storm and tempest. Let's go to the book of Job. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 21. It's right backwards in verse 15. I'm not going to hit a lot of scripts tonight for y'all, but I do got some clips because what we want to do is we want to start a call for action. All right? A call for action. We want to have some actions behind this because now some things are already in place and in motion. I'm not going to say it on camera right now, but some things is in motion for some action, and we want to set up a model to where we can bring it to every urban environment. Okay? It's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us to get with this and to really shine a light on it because mental health is one of the keys. Emotional trauma, because a lot of people have emotional trauma. And it could be nothing could happen to you, but you can, a mind. You got to realize something. You're thinking. That means you animated. That is a hard thing when your mind, that's your mind, and it works like that. Ooh. That's why you have to send up prayers to the Most High for having you in a sound mind, waking you up with a sound mind, at least to understand reality, because you can go crazy. and be on the news tomorrow. Job 21, verse 15. That storm.
The book of Job, chapter 21 and verse 15. What is this? What is the Almighty?
What is the Almighty? Come on.
That we should serve him.
That we should serve him. Come on.
And what profit should we have?
Come on.
If we pray unto him?
What profit we going to have if we pray unto him? What is the Almighty? That we should serve him. This is a crazy, the Creator, the Almighty, that we should serve him. When you serve him, it's about conduct. It's about how you operate as being a servant towards the Most High. What profit should we have? Well, when you go back to, if you was to go back, it says that we're gonna have peace. Our sons gonna be able to grow up. Our daughters are gonna be polished. All right. We want peace between us and the Most High. Which, if you make peace with the Most High, automatically nothing can stand before you. Come on.
Verse 16. Lo, their good is not in their hand.
Come on.
The counsel of the wicked is far from me.
Come on.
How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them? God distributeth sorrows in his anger.
He distributed sorrows in his anger. So for us, let's talk honestly. You think, this is a question, I'm asking this. For a nation of people, do you believe God is happy with us as a nation of people, or do you believe that he's angry with us as a nation of people? We asked the brother that before. He equated it to like some type of mediocre blessings or something like that, where, you know, we could jump and play basketball or something. But put in a comment, boy. I mean, who, you know, playing is a blessing playing golf, being able to hit a hole in one? No. So if read that verse again.
Verse 17, the book of Job, chapter 21 and verse 17. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them? God distributeth sorrows in his anger.
So he giving out sorrows in his anger. You see us with sorrows continually, day by day. Either a child is coming up missing, either a mother is sobbing, either a father is being thrown in jail, either a son is being killed, a daughter going out to be missed, all kind of things. Sorrows. All right. So the question should be, is God happy with us as a people? I want to please answer that question. Is God happy with us as a people? All you folks that are tagged on this video and everything else, is God happy with us as a nation of people? We killing each other. We barely have patience. But what's crazy is your own brother can walk past you. You'll mean mug him. But when you at the grocery store, another nation hand you back your change, you say thank you. Simple self. Right. Trash self. I mean, somebody, you know, just on a routine pass by. How you doing? Have a nice day. Your own brother walk past you. Come on now. Yeah, it's a strong no. Yeah, thank you. Thank y'all for commenting. We already knew the answer to it. But some of you folks that are out there that's living in Willy Wonka land, that's in the land of confusion, right? You don't understand these principles. Therefore, you are not a part of the solution. You are a part of the problem. Let's read on.
Verse 18. They are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carrieth away. God layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewarded him, and he shall know it.
And he shall know it. This is the difference. You gonna know it. So if you look at the being a stubble before the wind, that's that tempest. and the shaft that is that the storm carried away. We read some of that about that storm in Psalms 55. This is the problem that we're in. We are in what they would call the perfect storm. It's you don't see it. You're like, okay, you lured to sleep every single time. We are lured to sleep. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now, the man is already starting to pump the summer. COVID-19 is starting to back off. We can now go full throttle into the summer. All right. All right. You don't understand something? Stay back. Be diligent in the understanding of what we supposed to be doing. All right? Because you see it already ramping up. Give me the I'm gonna show you a video. Give me this video real quick on the Today Show. Show you how it's ramping up. This how it's ramping up. This how you know. For those who are spiritual. The 6th grader. Watch this, y'all. Now you tell me if it ain't really ramping up, because you know, well, we know who do deeds like this, but pay attention, because you are living in a world where you have to stay connected. Do not detach from reality. Let's run it.
Multiple shots rang out in this Idaho middle school early Thursday morning. Police say a 6th grade girl who had a handgun in her backpack pulled the trigger. The rounds hitting 2 students and a school custodian.
Each of these individuals sustained non-life-threatening extremity.
A 6th grade girl brings a handgun to the school. Where'd she get that from? She brings a handgun. But it's crazy, because when you watch this, I don't know if I'm gonna play the whole thing, but when you watch this, they're heralding the school teacher who was a hero. But in one part of this, the school teacher grabs the little girl, and the little 6th grade girl tells the school teacher, "Take the gun and shoot me in the head." Play.
Injuries.
Police say the girl was disarmed by a teacher, Krista Needing. Needing's father telling NBC News she sat the girl down and gave her a tight hug. The girl repeatedly asked Krista to take the gun and kill her, but Krista continued to hug her tight until the police came.
This is the worst nightmare a school district could ever face. We prepare for it, but we're never truly ready for it.
This is a 6th grader. All right, a 6th grader that's doing this, y'all. Okay, do you not understand the level of the mentality that's just oozing out of this environment, this earth? You never heard of this type of stuff. All right, so you got to really start to understand spirits is on this earth and things are happening. All right, you could have had your kid in that school. And they could open fire. You think this is the end? Play a little bit more.
Footage from the scene shows a man being wheeled out on a stretcher as anxious parents gathered nearby.
When I dropped her off to school this morning, I never imagined that this would happen.
Traumatized students and parents struggling to cope with the shock. A mother recalling the moment her terrified 13-year-old called her.
My 8th grader had called me and said that there was an active shooter in the school, that she had heard 3 gunshots right next to her classroom, and that she had heard a friend of hers may have been shot. And then she said, "I love you, I gotta go, bye."
While the investigation is ongoing,
okay, get it off of there, man. So, kids got all these phones, and kids got access to information. These kids is practically coming out of the womb knowing how to work tablets and scrolling. You can see these kids. These kids know how to work a device. A shot go off. You got a 3rd grader. Let me text all my friends. They shooting. Yeah, same environment. Just let me do this. But you have to realize the sign of the times. What is happening? So if you're not ignorant, you're paying attention. All right? That's why we have to be about this business. The business is to inform, instruct, teach, give knowledge, all right, to those who want to hear it. To those who do not want to hear it, they are part of the problem. Dust them off, leave them alone. Let them go about their regular mundane life, because what's happening is things are starting to ram up. Gun sales are at an all-time high. They're running out of bullets. All kind of things is happening, all right? Eventually, we know that all of that stuff is not going to even make it's not going to even matter, all right? Because as the world enters into more lawlessness, it's happening everywhere, all right? We show y'all. What's being self-evident is conduct and coming together. So the communities where we're at, if you know the truth, and I'm going to say this, that could be brothers and sisters. If you know the truth, you got to hold yourself responsible, all right? Contrary to popular belief, give me Romans 16 and verse 1. I think it's Romans 16 and 1. This goes for brothers and sisters. But you see it as the apostles is moving forward, because believe it or not, we breeze through these letters. This is treacherous times. The Romans are warring. There's a lot of wars happening in this time period. All right? Romans 16 and verse 1.
The book of Romans, chapter 16 and verse 1. Mm-hmm. I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, which is a servant of the church which is at Cenchrea.
Right. So this is Phoebe, our sister, which is a servant of the church. So it shows you the components of being in order, being righteous. Does not have to. You have a place. You have a part to play. Mm-hmm. If you're not playing your part of saying, you know what, I'm gonna speak just wisdom and righteousness around my people. If you don't do that, then how are you going to fix anything? How you expect things to happen? I keep saying this. Years ago, Deacon Nathan remembers this. We was on North Side, and a little girl and her auntie came there, and they stood up, and all the scriptures was going out. And we were saying, you have a responsibility when it comes down to turning back to righteousness. You know, if you're looking at God, you believe in God. And the little girl was standing there too, saying, yeah, but you got to believe in God. We was asking questions. Not shortly a while after, some idiots shooting in the streets. The bullet goes through the window and kills that little girl, man. Do you know how devastating that was? And it just so happened we were out at camp, because I didn't even see it on the news. Right. But how we found out about it is her aunt came up. We was teaching, and she came directly up to me. She had tears in her eyes. She said, everything y'all said on that corner was right. Everything. Why does it take the level of tragedy to get us in a sense of urgency? You want it to be pulled up into your backyard? I mean, what's the problem? It's a sense of urgency because it can happen to you. It can happen to your kid. It can happen to your mom, your dad, your auntie, your niece, your brother, whatever, brother-in-law, loved one, friend. Why is it taking that much for the sense of urgency? But you see, even moving forward in the Gospels, it's righteousness. Women have a part to play, because a lot of times what men are doing is trying to get money to impress women. And the women are trying to get money to show up another woman. Instead of really looking at it as building, like, yo, I'm really trying to build something. I'm trying to build my people. You know, I want to take this one project where I'm at. You know, what they call it, S's Village, whatnot?
They used to.
What they call it right now?
St. Paul's.
St. Paul's.
Yeah.
I'm just using that as an example, but somebody can choose that be that light that comes out of that spot and say, I'm going to tear this whole thing down. We're going to own this whole block, and we're going to build it what we want to build in our community. Somebody can choose that. You don't have to be a person that's a product of the environment. You can choose a higher level by returning back to righteous principles. Why we don't understand that? Righteous principles allow us to build together. It's very difficult because of what the world is interjecting iniquity into us all the time. So we're looking at everybody with a sideways look, with an angle. Stop doing that. That's the wrong. Read on real quick. Read down to verse 5.
Verse 2, that ye receive her in the Lord as becometh saints, and that ye assist her in whatsoever business she have need of you.
You see what's happening? So he's saying she putting in work. Right. Whatever business she have need of you, assist her. You know, she's working on the behalf of the family. Make sure you assist her. What don't we understand about righteous principles? If we live by this, then you're not going to have a problem. Right. The Most High is not going to go, okay, this whole community right here, the police is going to come in this community. You think the police going to come into the community? You in Wellington Farms. I've never seen a police car or cruiser over there. When I stayed in California, you could go to Melrose. You could be in Beverly Hills. The police are scared to park a car up there. I was matter of fact, on Wilshire, for shout out to anybody who live out there, on Wilshire's the cutoff line. So I was there at a 76 gas station, and the police pulled into the gas station. There was a guy there. I think he was in like one of those box Porsches. He proceeds to get out his car. Never forget this. He got out of his car and said, "What you doing on this side of the town?" That's what he asked him. And the police in California, the police have these cards where they can pull up and get gas. He was getting gas, but he asked him, "What you doing on this side of town?" That goes to show you the mentality. If we as a nation of people can start to understand righteous conduct, there will be no need to call the police. What you gonna call them for? We understand how to govern ourselves. They don't want you to understand how to govern yourself. When we saying they, we talking about the status quo, the so-called white man, the top level elites, the people who are making money off of your misery. Kill this nigger right here, and it's going to start a trickle-down effect of money. We got to take him. We got to call the coroner office. They got to get paid money. When they pick him up, they got to give him an autopsy. Oh, don't think the ambulance bill is free. It's not. Somebody got to pay for that. They going to tax it. Oh, all that money's happening. Oh, after they get the medical examiner, they now have a chief medical examiner. Then they got to fill out a death certificate. All these little trickle down. Now somebody got to be buried. Somebody, the pallbearer, got to make money. It's a whole scheme, so it's a cycle. You go into your hood, liquor store, check cashing spot, cemetery, police station, hospital. Unbelievable. And you can't see the cycle of death. Because the reason why you have not came out of the shadows of your mind, you have not come out of the darkness. All right? You better believe the church is there. The church is gonna make the money from the funeral. Somebody gonna stand there and tell you he's in a better place. Meanwhile, Ray, and Tyrone and everybody else, people looking for get back now. Ain't no stopping it. They shot your cousin. I gotta go get him. This is the problem that we have. So if we know this. We've been saying it to our people, and guess what, y'all? We winning. Make no mistake about it, we are winning. People are waking up all over the place. We're getting your messages. We're receiving the calls. We're seeing it in other countries. Other countries are waking up. Brothers and sisters in other places are saying, nope, we're going to come back to this. How we dealing with each other. So that's the beauty of it. And, you can play a part of that. You can be a part of the greatest awakening in the history of this whole entire, like, in existence. The Israelites returning back to who they are in righteous conduct, which will ultimately lead to the Lord returning to the face of the earth. It's got to happen. He said they made themselves ready. Let's read on. Read down to verse 5.
Okay. Ye assist her in whatsoever business she have need of you, for she have been a secure of many, and of myself also.
It's doing the works, helping. Come on.
Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers in Christ Jesus.
It's a husband and wife team. Helping. Helping, not being a hindrance, helping. What a blessing right there. Read.
Who have for my life laid down their own necks, unto whom not only I give thanks, but also all the churches of the Gentiles.
So all the scattered Israelites that didn't know anything of Christ and the awakening of calling Israel back, they put their own necks on the line. It's a husband and wife team. They put their own necks on the line. This show you how you build a nation. Read on.
Verse 5. Likewise, greet the church that is in their house.
Greet the church that's in their house. You got all kind of different situations happening, but that church starts in your home. Greet the church that's in the house, because you start gathering in the communities. Hey, call your neighbors, start talking. Hey, listen, this is what they're doing to us, but we figured out something. We figured out that we're God's chosen people and that we have a way that we're supposed to be conducting ourselves amongst each other and being a light, all right, a beacon to those who don't know anything. If you need help with anything, you call me. It's simple. It's real easy. But we're standoffish. Some people been living next to their neighbor for 20-some years. Can't even tell you what the first 3 letters of their name is. Read on.
Salute my well-beloved Epaphras, who is the first fruits of Achaia unto Christ.
See, so I'm not going to read no more. We read down to 5. But listen, the point to this is really coming out of the shadows, coming out of the dark state of mind, because we want to move forward in positivity. So we have some things to show. Oh, we can showcase this. All right. But every single time we keep going to the enemy and he keeps doing us. Go back to Psalms 56. Psalms 56, verse 8 and 9. Because if we're crying unto the Most High, there's a procedure now. That's something's going to start happening. All right. And it has been happening. I can't say that it's not. What's been happening is it's a great awakening that's going on. And it's underneath everybody's noses. All right. Read on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 56 and verse 8. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? When I cry unto thee, then shall mine enemies turn back.
They read it again for them. People miss that.
Verse 9. When I cry unto thee, then shall mine enemies turn back.
Then shall my enemies turn back. Well, crying unto the Lord don't just mean no tears. It means making supplications. All right? Doing. But if you realize it, this is in this book, man. All right? There's a lot of things that's happening to our people. And it's in your story, in your plight, in your escape, in your great exodus. It's all in this book. All right? Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? All right? This stuff is written, man. It's prophecy. You're not going to get around it. You're not going to escape it. But we have to build, okay? And it's evident. Give me Jeremiah 29. It's evident Because let's look at some history. In ancient times, we was in Babylon, sucked and ceased into captivity. This is ancient Babylon, which is also a similitude for Babylon the Great. Don't listen to these people that tell you that it's not. Okay, because we can see all the similitudes. The great confusion to top. All right. Start at verse 1 real quick.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 29 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders which were carried away captives, and to the priests, and to the prophets, and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon.
Come on.
Verse 2. After that, Jeconiah, the king and the queen, and the eunuchs, the princes of Judah and Jerusalem, and the carpenters, and the smiths were departed from Jerusalem.
Uh-huh.
Verse 3. By the hand of Elisha, the son of Shaphan, and Gemariah, the son of Hilkiah.
You know, if all these people have departed from Jerusalem, I mean, you got some smart men. But if you take and you deplete the nation of people who are smart, somebody who can figure things out, somebody who's resourceful, and this is where, you know, a lot of us see this. We need to start coming together, our carpenters, our people who are studying to be doctors, our people who are studying the medicines, who are studying finance, who are studying the different things and elements that are weighing our people down. Why aren't we having some type of, you know, power meeting to say, listen, hey, let's fix this. It starts somewhere, all right? It starts somewhere. At least if we start something, it could be mimicked everywhere else. And Esau, what he does, he show you that in his movies. He be against all odds. And he'll figure out, oh, this alien right here, it's up to us. Mm-hmm. We just found out he doesn't like water. Yeah, and water can kill him. And then they go, this is going to be spread throughout everywhere. So it starts somewhere. They depict that in movies. All right? But watch this. Read on.
Whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon.
He caused it. So at this time, in ancient times, the Lord is saying, I caused you to be seized into captivity under the hands of the ancient Babylonians, which is the Cushites. These are Ethiopians. Yeah, newsflash. Everybody who's talking at Haile Selassie and everything else, the ancient Israelites was subverted underneath them. Okay, read on.
Verse 5, build ye houses.
The Lord said, because you are in this captivity, don't get sucked into it just to be like, okay, we here to die. Build ye houses. When it says build ye houses, it means get in this. You know, seek the peace of the city, meaning what the Most High is showing us how to develop ourselves in the midst of adversity. Build ye houses, come on.
And dwell in them.
Come on.
And plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them.
Come on.
Take ye wives, and beget sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there, and not diminished.
And not diminished. So even though the Lord pulled us into captivity, he still gave an order for us to, no, because you're in captivity, you cannot say that you can't thrive. Still thrive in this captivity. All right? Watch this. Read on.
Verse 7. And seek the peace of the city.
This does not mean to become a politician or anything like that. When it says seek the peace of the city, it's simply showing us, y'all, that That peace that we need to have is from the Most High. The end. Okay? Read that part again.
And seek the peace of the city, whither I have caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto the Lord for it. For in the peace thereof shall ye have peace.
For in the peace thereof shall ye have peace. So if we make peace with the Most High, we can get our inner cities. We can get it together. For if we do that, then in that we're going to have peace. You will not have the police still shooting Israelites if we line up and get ourselves together, because we will have a certain level of agreement with the Most High, where the Most High will give us understanding on how we deal in situations. We cannot deal consistently in the realms of what we've been doing. All right. Now I'm gonna show you something. Give me the Rio. I'm gonna see who pick up on this, because some of y'all might just be thinking that it's America. This just happened. I want y'all to hear it, listen to it, and I'm gonna let it play all the way through. But listen carefully. Watch this. Come on. Yeah, minute and 44. Gosh.
At least 25 people were killed in a violent shootout in Rio de Janeiro on Thursday in one of the state's deadliest police raids yet. TV images showed drug traffickers in the Jacarezinho neighborhood trying to escape, running across rooftops as police arrived in armored vehicles and helicopters flew overhead. Forcing residents to shelter in their homes, the firefight was the deadliest police operation in Rio in over a decade. The state has long suffered from drug-related violence. Police said the victims included suspected members and leaders of the drug trafficking gang, which dominates life in the slum, as well as one police officer. Police said in addition to drug trafficking, the gang robbed trucks of cargo and held up commuter trains to steal from passengers. At a news conference on Thursday, police displayed an arsenal of seized weapons, including a machine gun, 6 assault rifles, and dozens of handguns and grenades. Human rights groups were quick to condemn Thursday's bloodbath. Amnesty International lambasted the police for the, quote, reprehensible and unjustifiable loss of life in an impoverished neighborhood mostly populated by black people.
What? Rewind it. Right there.
International lambasted the police for the, quote, reprehensible and unjustifiable loss of life in an impoverished neighborhood mostly populated by black people. According to Human Rights Watch, Rio police have killed over 450 people in raids during the first 3 months of the year, and at least 4 police officers have died. That's despite a Supreme Court ruling prohibiting these operations during the pandemic, except in absolutely exceptional cases. Rights groups say that Rio's prosecutors have a constitutional obligation to oversee the police and have called for a thorough and independent investigation into the shootout.
Come on. So, unbelievable, y'all. Unbelievable. But this goes to show y'all something. For our people scattered everywhere, but what they have done, they took and assassinated 25. But listen to the propaganda, because being in a setup where you chasing money, in our people's mind, they don't see another way. So you either thinking that you got to find the fast money, you got to be in a lifestyle, a gang, somewhere where you can get the support level, where you can somehow take care of yourself, eat, and feed your family. This is all wickedness, all right? But how come we can't get together and shut this down? How come? How come we can't do it? Because we have the ability to say, all right, let's control ourselves like this. That's number one. Even though you out of control in the system, but you do have the ability to control yourself, all right? And to control your family and to be in the environment of it. But it never happens, all right? because we are out of order. We are out of touch. Okay, we're in a different mind state when it comes down to how we supposed to conduct ourselves. 2 Kings, I'm gonna showcase this. We're almost done. 2 Kings chapter 20. Y'all know this story, but I'm gonna read it on down. It's something important that's in here. You can start at verse 1.
2 Kings chapter 20 and verse 1. In those days was I'm Salakia.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah.
2 Kings chapter 20 and verse 1. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and the prophet Isaiah the son of Amos came to him and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto the Lord, saying, I beseech thee, O Lord, remember now how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. And it came to pass, after Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word of the Lord came to him, saying, Turn again and tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, Thus saith the Lord, the God of David, thy father, I have heard thy prayer. I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will heal thee. On the third day thou shalt go up unto the house of the Lord. And I will add unto thy days 15 years. And I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. And I will defend this city for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. And Isaiah said, Take a lump of figs. And they took and laid on the boil, and he recovered. And Hezekiah said unto Isaiah, What shall be the sign that the Lord will heal me, and that I should go up into the house of the Lord the third day?
Pay attention to this, y'all. This is the point, because we read this story to show you that the Most High can heal 100%. But now pay attention to something, because look at it on a grand scale as for a nation, okay? So when you take them lumps of figs, when you read in the scriptures, figs are also a similitude for the nation of Israel. Come on.
Verse 9. And Isaiah said, This sign shalt thou have of the Lord, that the Lord will do the things that he hath spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees or go back 10 degrees?
Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees or back 10 degrees? He's asking them, right? Okay, watch this.
And Hezekiah answered, It is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees.
It's a light thing, because how the sun moves, it's a light thing for that to be on that sundial. Come on.
Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees. And Isaiah the prophet cried unto the Lord, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward.
Instantaneously. Wait a minute, hold on. So you have the dial of HS, because what happened is, contrary to popular belief, folks, they have found these type of sundials all through the area. This is one of them. All right, if you want to look at it, this is one of them. Blow it up. This is what is called a sundial. All right, you see Aramaic inscription on it. All right, you can kind of see it. Zoom in on it for the people. Now imagine the level of power the Most High has. Bring the bowl down. Bring the bowl down. This is the dial. So imagine that shadow will go across those degrees, and you see lines in this. Imagine that shadow being able to, for us, if you have that set up, it ain't going to go backwards because the way the sun is moving. Right. So that shadow going to stay right there. How is it that the Most High was able to take that shadow and maneuver it the way it was. Put it in the comment boards. Read it again. He said, read verse 10.
2 Kings chapter 20 and verse 10. And Hezekiah answered, it is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees. Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees.
But let it go backwards 10 degrees. Wow. I mean, you supposed to be going forward. If you standing up and you overhead, you see the noon is going to be straight down. Imagine a prophet comes to you and tell you about where you want this shadow to line up at. How is that? Is the sun moving? Because you got to actually, they would have said the sun moved. So what is it about this shadow that can go 10 degrees? We're missing something. We're missing something. What is the Most High showing us in this? Read on.
Verse 11. And Isaiah the prophet cried unto the Lord, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down in the dial of Ahaz.
Come on.
Verse 12. At that time, Barak the blood done. Sorry about that, y'all. The son of Boladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present unto Hezekiah, for he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick.
Watch this, come on.
And Hezekiah hearkened unto them, and showed them all the house of his precious things.
This is what I wanted to get to.
The silver, and the gold, and the spices, and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not.
So they come and they seeing everything that Hezekiah has. Remember, it's a dramatic event with this shadow, but now here it comes. So what happens? You come. This is for us to understand. You come out of that darkness. You can't give that which is holy unto the dogs. We got to build exclusively with each other, because watch what happens after this. Read on.
Verse 14. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah, and said unto him, what said these men? And from whence came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, they are come from a far country, even from Babylon.
They came from Babylon. Remember, we got ceased into Babylon. They came from Babylon. This is earlier. This is earlier, folks. There's something going on now. They done seen how he operates. They done seen the riches. They done seen how our way would be the right way. Watch this. Come on.
And he said, what have they seen in thine house? And Hezekiah answered, all the things that are in mine house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them.
So it shows you this is the other nations, but watch this, y'all. Come on.
And Isaiah said unto Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord. Behold, the days come that all that is in thine house, and that which thy fathers have laid up in thy store unto this day, shall be carried into Babylon.
It's going to be carried away captive. Now, why is he now listen, these things is written for our learning. We're seeing something here. The Most High moves miraculously and heals. We even get showed a sign about that shadow being taken back. And then here come the enemy, and they spy out everything, all the good things. And now, because they spied out all the good things, what report you think went back to them? See, this is where we keep failing. We keep coming together. You got the Al Sharptons and everybody, standing there. I think there was let me see. Did I give you that video? It's with Al Sharpton when he was talking about Go to that video real quick. Hold this thought. This is what the level of, when we're reading in the scriptures right here, the level of us always wanting to conjoin and you know, let's bring everybody in. It's a problem. Watch this, play.
I know a con game when I see it. Release the whole tape and let the folks see what happened to Andrew Brown. Don't talk to us like we stupid. If there's nothing on the tape, there won't be nothing on it in 45 days.
Pause. He said, don't talk to us like we stupid. But yet, I don't know how many countless of speeches he done made in the past couple of, months with the same thing over and over again. So these people, you know, I get him off of there, man. I can't even watch him. Get him off of there. It just kills me because the only thing he's going to do is go into his spill, you know, to release the tape. That man dead, man. He got shot in the back of the head. You know, his man family members right now is in mourning because of what happened. And they probably never thought that can happen to him. They thought when they seen everybody else getting killed, it was like, oh, that's them. That's sad. It has not been not one brother that we have met that was not affected by that George Floyd incident. But if you're affected by it, what are we doing? You know, or why are we steady wanting to now the other nations come in? We want to show them everything. These things should be closed circuit now. Closed circuit. Cut the cameras. We dealing with each other. That's it. We ain't dealing with nobody else. You other nations are cut off completely. We gonna deal interpersonal. We gonna deal with our situations ourselves. But you know what the problem is? The person who steps up to say, let's deal with it ourselves, they hate that man. They hate that man because you have to be a certain way, period. And it takes a certain level of moxie to be right there, especially in this nation, because you're going to deal with certain situations. When you read in here, it was times that the men of Israel, they had to lay hands on people and all kind of stuff because you're dealing with a nation of people that is just completely out of order and disobedient. So the cameras have to be cut. We have to stop displaying. Why I want to see that man die on camera? We done showed you this many times. We want to elevate. In order to elevate, we got to stop displaying these things as the norm. We got to close circuit your nation, the nations, the media, all these outlets. You are not invited. We're going to handle our situation ourselves. You can't handle it for us because you're saying if you think that you need to handle it for us, you're saying that we're a child. We can't handle our situations ourselves. And that's what's happening all over the earth, wherever the Israelites are scattered. All right? Y'all got to understand that portion. And if you understand it, there is a level of faith that you have to have. Let's go to Romans 5. I'm not going to even read the rest of Kings. Y'all can read the rest of Kings. You're going to see what the Most High pronounced. He's in Hezekiah day, he lived in peace, but his sons and everything was made eunuchs. All right? Romans 5 and verse 1.
The book of Romans, chapter 5 and verse 1. Therefore, being justified by faith.
Therefore, being justified by faith. When you're justified by faith, we have the authority given by the Most High through Christ to operate as a nation in faith. Read.
We have peace with God.
Then you can bring peace with the Most High. That's what we were reading about. If you seek the peace of the city, you will then yourself have peace. The only way you can do that is by the Most High. Come on.
Through our Lord Jesus Christ.
Through Christ. Come on.
By whom also we have access by faith into this grace.
That's the access. He showed us how to conduct ourselves. We must do that. Come on.
Wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of God.
Come on.
And not only so, But we glory in tribulation.
But not only so, we glory in the tribulation too. We are in tribulation right now. Y'all don't understand that? We're in tribulation right now. We glory in it because we know that there's a solution and there's an overall situation that we have which will be fixed. It's got to happen because it's thus saith the Lord. Read.
Also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
Knowing that tribulation worketh patience. That's what we need. Patience. Because we understand what we're in. We understand what's happening to us. Add that patience. All right. Read.
And patience, experience.
And patience, experience. All right. You have to have some experience with this. Read.
And experience, hope.
And that level of experience, you then start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. You start seeing the hope, the way that we can figure this thing out. Come on.
Verse 5. And hope make it not ashamed.
And hope make it not ashamed. So we are not ashamed of what we're going through. We want to fix the problem that we have. We want to fix the issues. And the only way we can do that is start to take responsibility for ourselves and then start to bleed that out into our nation. Come on.
Because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts.
That's the thing. The understanding of Christ and the commandments is shed abroad in our hearts. Even though we are scattered abroad, he's using a play on words. Come on.
By the Holy Ghost.
By the Spirit of Christ in the keeping of the commandments. Come on.
Which is given unto us.
Which is the knowledge that is given unto us. Come on.
For when we were yet without strength.
For when we were yet without strength. Watch this. Come on.
In due time.
Come on.
Christ died for the ungodly.
Christ died for the ungodly. For us not understanding. We without strength. The Lord did what he did to show us this. Read.
For scarcely. For a righteous man.
For scarcely. For a righteous man. Come on.
Will one die.
Will one die. Scarcely. So he's showing you somebody not going to risk their life for you. Come on.
Yet peradventure, for a good man, some would even dare to die.
Yet peradventure, for a good man, some would even dare to die. But the Lord did this. Come on.
But God commended his love towards us in that while we were yet sinners.
While we were yet in the midst of sin. This is all of us. That's why we have to have a level of patience with our people, and we got to go and work them. We got to show them this level of truth. All right. But God, commanded his love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, come on,
Christ died for us.
The Lord laid down his life to show us the better way. Everybody's saying they believe on Christ, but everybody's not operating how the Lord told us to operate. And therefore, we are receiving continual punishments in building and trying to get together. In every aspect of our life, we are receiving the just rewards for us not lining up underneath conduct, how Christ said that we should be. The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
So we ought to obey the Most High rather than man any day, every day. All right. You brothers and sisters got to understand that principle. If you understand that, then we can move forward in understanding on how we can build in this nation again. I had another video. I'll probably show it to y'all tomorrow to show you the mind state of how our people think versus how the other nations think. All right. But all praises to the Most High in Christ. You brothers and sisters continue to send up the prayers. Lord's will, we're back again tomorrow. Okay. Lord say the same. Y'all continue to send up the prayers for each other, man, because guess what? The walk, all right, ain't easy, but we got Christ. All praises to the Most High in Christ. You brothers visit the website, IsraeliteSaintsOfChrist.org. We are getting your messages. Some of you I've spoken to directly. All praises to the Most High. All right. Continue to stand strong. So we're going to continue to bring forth the live videos as much as the Lord put the Spirit out there for us to do. All right. But with that, we say shalom.